or anything in between, Memorial connects you to the region's best care. And now, our name will reflect that. Introducing Memorial Health, the new name for all the places where you receive our care. From our 5 community hospitals to our dozens of care facilities, they're all united under one name and a new symbol. But Memorial Health is more than just a name change. We have also simplified the way you access our care, including a streamlined website, a straightforward approach to primary and urgent care, as well as a growing network of expertise and technology. Now, wherever you are, Memorial Health makes living your best life easier than ever. Welcome to the new symbol of health. See all the changes online at memorial.health.
Warner Hospital welcomes Gibson Area Hospital and Dr. Jason Yee, providing award-winning orthopedic health to DeWitt County. Your orthopedic health is important, and Dr. Yee specializes in joint replacements, sports injuries, knees, shoulders, and fracture care. Return to an active lifestyle and a higher quality of living with Gibson Area Hospital Orthopedics. Now seeing patients at the Warner Specialty Clinic in Clinton. Book your appointment with Dr. Yee in Clinton. Call 217-937-5279.
It's 8 minutes after 7 o'clock here on this Wednesday morning. We start the day under mostly clear skies, 25 degrees in Clinton here this morning.
Local information that makes a difference. Here's your regional weather.
Really quite a cool morning out there as we start this Wednesday. It'll become increasingly cloudy today with temperatures in the mid-40s, a calm west-northwest wind here throughout the day today. Partly cloudy tonight, calm winds again, lows in the upper 20s. Thursday sunny, highs around 50 degrees. Clear Thursday night, lows around 30 degrees. Friday sunny with a high near 50 degrees. Afternoon winds out of the south on Friday at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Clear Friday night, a low in the mid-30s. Saturday sunny with a high in the upper 50s. Saturday night clear, lows in the upper 30s. And Sunday sunny with temperatures in the lower to mid-60s. So perhaps a bit of a warm-up as we roll into the weekend here in central Illinois. Right now, clear skies across central Illinois, 30 in Bloomington, 28 in Normal, 24 degrees this morning in Hayworth, 26 degrees in Farmer City. 27 right now in Champaign, 30 in Monticello, 30 in Decatur, 29 degrees in Mount Pulaski, 30 in Lincoln, 28 degrees in Springfield. It's 29 degrees in East Peoria. 25 clear in Clinton, calm winds, 100% humidity, 10 miles of visibility on this Wednesday. Weather anytime is at DeWittDailyNews.com.
From regional radio, DeWittDailyNews.com and the WHOW app. This is local information making a difference.
Thanks for being with us here on this Wednesday. Coverage of news this morning is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. The Warner Library in Clinton is participating in a nationwide initiative that tells the stories of veterans, then submits those to the Library of Congress. On the WHOW Morning Show Tuesday, Executive Director Bobby Perryman told Regional Radio News this is an exciting initiative they've been doing for a few years now.
So this is a project that started with the Library of Congress, where they are actually collecting oral histories of all American veterans. It doesn't matter which war, which branch of the service, what you did, but just any American veteran. So what we are doing, this is mainly Marie Malpe, who is our adult program coordinator at the library, is actually interviewing veterans. So she has a recorder. She goes to their home and she will just ask them for their story. And they share it with her. And some have been a bit longer, like Mr. Hernard's was, I think, more than an hour long. Mm-hmm. She just did a World War II veteran, which there aren't too many of those left, Ivan Stanwood, and his was about a little over half an hour long, but still wonderful stories and important things for us to remember. So we are sending those to the Library of Congress, where they will eventually be able to be accessed from the Library of Congress website, mm-hmm. but you can access them from our website, vwarner.org. If you go to our local history page, it'll take you to our archive.org page, where you can actually hear the entire interviews. So the project has, I don't know the start date, but it's been several years that they have been doing it, and there is no end date on this project. Mm-hmm. Basically, they want to get as many as they can. When was that? 2011, 2012, we did an exhibition at the library on World War II and DeWitt County, and we were able to interview several DeWitt County veterans who served in World War II, and and I believe all of them have since passed away. So it's very important to try to get this information while we still can, because for many of them, I know my dad was in the Vietnam War and he's passed away, because a lot of them are in their 70s now, and just trying to get those stories while we still can.
Dave Hennard is a local veteran of the Vietnam War who was also recognized for his service with the Distinguished Flying Cross Award. Hennard was a pilot during the war and the attack on the Ton Son Nhut airfield. He tells his role in that battle.
I was fortunate that morning because I was assigned as a defense attorney for an E5 who'd been in a fight at Bung Tau Bar. So that's where I sat when it reached 8 a.m. We were in court, basically in a court-martial trial. Fortunately, I was able to get him off with an Article 15, but I started flying against the offensive on February 2nd, and it was intense. I just have to say that from the time the offensive began, it was a much more serious proposition as far as enemy fire and the kind of ammunition and equipment they had. That was all furnished by the Chinese and Soviet Union. We were really fighting a surrogate war.
Local veterans advocate Jeff Morlock is helping the library get connected to local veterans. While this is something that has been ongoing for a few years now, Morlock still gets excited to give veterans the opportunity to tell their stories.
What it is, we're kind of submitting the vets to the library, and then the library is interviewing the veterans, and then we're submitting it to the Library of Congress, so their veterans' stories are saved forever, so like future generations can hear their grandpa's, great-grandpa's voice and what they did in the military service. It's called the Veterans Project at the Library of Congress. It's been going on for several years, but it was just kind of one of my dreams to get going, get more guys' stories told and saved. Just for Sue Lichty come in at the right time. She does the interviews, and Dave had a great story, and everything just kind of fell together. Sue helped out a bunch. It's just I've got a bunch of side things going, future things that I'm planning, take up a lot of my time. It was one of the things that kind of got put on the back burner. And then when Sue come along, it was like, she's a great fit. And Sue has ties to Vietnam. One of her family members was killed in Vietnam. So actual ties to it as well.
Once the veterans tell their stories, the work for the library to get those to the Library of Congress is just beginning because of all the paperwork, transcribing of the stories, and interviews that have to be done. The library is only doing about 3 veteran interviews each year. For several months now, DeWitt County Administrator Dee Dee Rentmeister has been serving in the capacity of the zoning administrator. Since the retirement of longtime zoning administrator Angie Sarver, the zoning office in DeWitt County has gone through several changes, but no long-standing administrator has been appointed. At the October board meeting, Travis Hauser asked what the future of that office is looking like.
I had a question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Have we looked at getting a new zoning administrator, or what's going on with that position?
We are looking at operating status quo for a while.
Budget did go ahead. The budget's full amount for the full time.
We did not.
We did not.
No, it can be changed though.
So what do you do? Create a position again? Is that what you'd have to do in a new budget year or something? For anything that we would add?
Might be something to think about between now
And October.
when it's been put on file and when it's adopted, whether or not you want to budget a full-time salary.
Right now, we're operating with the interim salary and an agreement with Soil and Water to do some of the testing and
Did we do that just for like 90 days or something though?
I just didn't know if we had a time limit, or do we plan on
Doesn't
focusing
Soil and
that
Water
way?
like 90 days or?
yeah, that was to get caught up on the backlog.
The hiring process is on hold because there are no applicants. Rentmeister indicates they thought they had a good applicant at one point, but circumstances changed and they moved farther north than DeWitt County. On the issue of pay scale for the position, it doesn't appear the advertised salary is an issue.
Where does land use stand on the interview process? Is it totally on hold, Mr. Ferguson?
It's on hold. We
We don't have any applicants.
don't have any applicants.
It's as simple as that. There aren't any.
So if somebody would like to be the zoning,
Is there still a job opening out there somewhere for people to apply, or did we
And
end
we
all
pulled
of it?
it.
We pulled we can reinstate it. We'll have to, if we make that determination, we'll have to amend our definitive budget.
But we're not offering enough? Is that why people aren't applying? There's a reason that they're not applying.
Well,
They haven't had the qualifications.
we've had a few applicants, but they're really, the applicants we haven't found anybody that tripped our trigger, I guess you would say.
Is it because the pay's so low?
No, we actually had a very good applicant, and her and her husband, they relocated further north, so they didn't, and I asked her if the wage was ever an issue, and she said no. And she had experience from Tennessee. They were relocating from Tennessee back to Illinois. Our last go around, we've advertised 4 times. Our last go around, I think we got 4 applications just from their background, didn't even warrant a call.
Do you recall what the salary is?
It had a range of 30 to 35.
That's what we did the last time we did the range. I think it was $20 and 20 something an hour.
The zoning office has been a point of focus in recent years with, of course, the development of the wind farm in DeWitt County. Each year, the Clinton Board of Education welcomes the administrators from each school building in the district to briefly outline the things they're doing. Last month, the board made those invitations, and Clinton Junior High School Principal Jim Peck spoke to the board of his intent to focus this year on the well-being of those in his building. He explains this year alone is bringing back the challenges everyone faced before last year.
I want to talk to you guys real quick about the ways that we are focusing on our staff's purpose this year at the junior high and their morale, but then also on what we're doing for our kids with their morale and social emotional issues and things that are going on right now. I think Jerry said it best: when we think about starting a year, we think about those expectations and things that we have in place for whatever happened last year. It's a new year, it's a clean slate. But I think we can all understand how these last couple of years have just been totally different, totally crazy, not like anything normal that we've ever seen before. And I do think that for all of us, students, us in the building, parents, and everybody, you could probably say across the country, maybe has underestimated a little bit what the pandemic has done and the effect that it has had on us. I think sometimes we get into our community and into our area and our focus, and we think we can handle anything. And last year we were really proud about being back in school, being able to be back in person for almost all of our kids that chose to, but we kind of underestimated what that return now this year to that full day was like. 1:30 is very different than 3:20. We have seen a lot of the just things that popped up this year that didn't pop up last year when we came back for that first time after our shutdown. And so,
according to Peck, they're focused on living your why with their staff and students. He also points out Dr. Courtney Orzel recently presented to the staff of the building on how to identify their why.
Trying to focus on what those things are and how do we meet those now that they're popping up and we're realizing as we're seeing those go through the year. So one thing that I had in place to start the year, and it's worked out, I think it kind of ties into what we are seeing with our kids and our staff, is my building theme for our staff was live your why this year, of trying to identify why it is we do what we do as educators and what either got us into this, and are we still have that passion for that, and we're moving forward, we need to kind of refine what that is, and as a building keep moving in that direction of this is why we do this. The goal hopefully is that then that flows into our kids of why do you guys have the passions that you have, whether it's sports or art or other things that you bring from your lives. And so coming up, we've got a training that I'm excited about at our building for our staff in October on the 27th. Dr. Courtney Orzel, who Kurt was able to set me up with through IASA, who's actually a Clinton grad, is coming to our building to lead a training for our staff that Kurt is going through, and identifying what that why is, and then how to build upon that, as a staff and put that into our teaching and our focus.
Mental and emotional wellness has also been a focus, not just for this year, but was last year. Peck indicates they are doing things like check-ins and asking questions about how to improve an individual's happiness.
We're continuing to look at staff wellness, and we've got our staff wellness meeting. Highlighted that last year, where we took some time for a faculty meeting and focused just on
the staff wellness and things that they, would benefit them. We had some different things that they could focus on, from mindfulness training to being able to just take a walk to having a session where they could cook their dinner and then take it home so they didn't have to worry about it that night. So we're going to, we got some really good results and feedback from the staff. We're going to continue doing that. That's going to be coming up at one of our December early out days. So trying to find those ways to build positivity and check-ins with our staff, because I think we feel like that workload of coming back to these full days is just, even though we've done it before, it seems different now that we've come back and are at that full-time spot. So how do we're here, we're going through it, how do we address it? Trying to build in staff positivity check-ins, trying to share across the building what's something good that happened today. What are you planning on doing for yourself today to make you happy?
Peck indicates they're also doing things like staff trivia, as well as continuing to focus on connecting with kids and helping them through the already challenging time in life of being a teenager and the added layer of the pandemic. It's 23 minutes after the hour this morning. We've got plenty more to get to coming up on the WHOW Morning Show.
At Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Baum Motor Company in Farmer City, our job is to help you and solve your transportation needs. This is Scott Baum. Both in Clinton or Farmer City, we'll listen and find options for a different vehicle, or we'll give you repair options to keep that car, truck, or SUV safe and trouble-free so you can continue with your busy schedule. If it has to do with transportation, we're here to help. Visit our full-service team today in Clinton or Farmer City. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
23 minutes after the hour here on this Wednesday morning, under clear skies to start the day. Temperatures right now 25 degrees in Clinton. An Illinois State University senior is the 2021 Illinois Farm Bureau Collegiate Discussion Meet winner. The honor goes to Isaac Brockman.
Yeah, so it is about the opposite of a debate. It's more of a collaboration. So we had 4 competitors in each room working on solutions for problems that currently exist in the ag industry. We made sure that we expressed ideas, elaborated on some thoughts that we had, and really were constructive. It wasn't like we were persuading anybody or trying to break down someone else's idea.
Brockman is from Verona in Grundy County. He will now represent Illinois at the National Discussion Meet in Louisville in late February. Midwest Dairy has entered a new partnership with the Illinois High School Association. It's all about promoting dairy, says Midwest Dairy's wellness manager, Selena King.
Our target audience for this is high school students. So Gen Z runs from like 9 to 24. So with this, we're going to talk to high school age kids. So like from 14 to 18 is the audience. And so what we're going to do with them are a couple fun promotional activities. So you're going to see United Dairy, UD Undeniably Dairy logo on the website for IHSA. You're going to see messaging on like Twitter and Instagram from IHSA talking about Reset Dairy. You're going to see it at the games. You're going to see it in the program books for championships. And so, but what we want to do for the young people is actually get them engaged in it. So we're going to host a virtual farm tour on November 18th, one of our local dairy farms. So we're going to have 3 high school athletes really host and moderate the session and ask the dairy farm questions and see what happens on the farm. We're talking about messages about sustainability, dairy is local, and just the technology behind dairy that people don't see all the time, and how animal care is done. So that's the focus of the virtual farm tour, and we're going to see what the young people are thinking, and we're going to stream it on Facebook, YouTube. It's going to be on the Instagram challenges for IHSA. So that's kind of what you're going to be seeing from us with this project.
The IHSA also has a partnership with the Illinois Pork Producers Association to find the state's best pork chop sandwich. Amidst news about possible shortages of popular gift items, holiday shoppers are starting earlier than ever. Gary Crawford has more.
It's early November, and the gift-giving holidays are almost 2 months away. Plenty of time to think about holiday shopping later, right? Wrong.
So nearly half of those consumers who are going to be out shopping this holiday season have already begun that shopping.
Come on, everybody, there's a whole lot of shopping going on. We're going crazy, we can't be lazy.
Going crazy?
The rush has begun.
Unbelievable. But Matt Shea, who runs the National Retail Federation, says each year it seems like the rush begins earlier and earlier.
Our consumer research this year shows continued progression in the trend that holiday shoppers, consumers are starting earlier than ever and before November. And we think this year in particular, that's going to continue to manifest itself.
Yes, this year in particular, because of problems reported in the supply chain for many products, delays in manufacturing and in shipping products. Matt Shea says news about these problems has helped to motivate some of this early shopping that we've been seeing this year. And indeed, he says, even though retailers have been starting early themselves in the process of stocking up on holiday goodies,
nevertheless, there may be some categories in which there will be some shortages or which consumers will need to do some switching or trading from one particular item to another.
But maybe that might not always be a bad thing.
And maybe it's an opportunity to buy a gift that would encourage someone to try something new.
Ah, that last voice belongs to Elizabeth Kish. She's an extension family finance expert, Kansas State University. And while she does not advocate a frenzy of panic buying, especially an early frenzy,
I think it always makes sense to be scoping out the marketplace, thinking ahead to what you anticipate needing and wanting to buy to celebrate the holidays.
And she says starting early with that is probably a good idea. Also,
if you need to sort of spread out your purchases a little bit, starting early can also be really helpful for you,
to avoid that one giant hole in your wallet being made all at the same time. Now, if there are items on your gift list, those just got to have items,
and you're afraid they're going to sell out, that might be another thing. But I would really caution people not to get caught up in the hype of supply chain issues, shortages,
because you may miss a good bargain and may pay more than you really have to. She says, keep a cool head and remember one thing.
This is a holiday. It's supposed to be fun. What are we panicking about?
Yeah, I forgot. That's right. But panic or not, we do know one thing. Yes, it has. Gary Crawford reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
29 minutes after the hour, coverage of news on this Wednesday is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. 26 degrees, mostly clear in Clinton. Network news on the way, a look at local sports as well. We've got news out of Packers camp and a look at some NASCAR news as well this morning. All that and more in sports.